Everyone, Tokyo Joe coming at you live from Tokyo Whiskey, live here in Tokyo, Japan, weekend 1920, February 2011. Time to get your whiskey on here in Tokyo Town. For those of you who are teaching English, have fun drinking your shochu. It's time for the whiskey.
Tokyo Joe, 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 Tokyo Joe.
Hey everyone, it's Tokyo Joe. Hey everyone, Tokyo Joe here, coming at you live, Tokyo Midtown, Tokyo, Japan. And I'm going to talk today about Tokyo's greatest whiskey event ever, and that's a 2-day Whiskey Live event we had here last weekend. In fact, it kicked off a whole week called Whiskey Week, and this is the biggest one ever. Previous years has only been 1 day. This time it was 2 days and a whole week. What happened to Whiskey Week? Well, I'm here to tell you all about it. Well, it was very interesting. They had a lot of interesting things happening. They had Whiskey Magazine there. They had master classes. You could learn about the whiskey. They had a giant diagram in Tokyo Midtown Square explaining what was happening in the making of the whiskey. It was written by a guy called, he's a famous Scottish guy called Broom, and Mr. Broom had a special, name's David Broom, had a special diagram up there showing how whiskey's made, and it was great. I drank a lot of whiskey, and so the members of the forum came and joined me. It was wonderful, and we had a lot of fun. And I'll just give you an idea of what happened. I mean, day one, we got to taste some Nikka whiskeys. We got to taste some whiskeys like Jack Daniels, special whiskey from Chichibu, and I believe they had tours of the distillery out there in Chichibu. We got some taste of wild turkey from back home, and actually we got some taste of the Hibikis, which are some of my favorite whiskeys. And if you read my review of the Hibiki whiskey that was drunk by Bob Harrison, lost in translation, played by Bill Murray, you can see just the quality, some of the quality of the whiskeys that they have here in Japan. And I will be reviewing all of them for you people, because I got a lot of love and concern for you people. Alright? What else? They had some great whiskeys. I think they also had a whiskey called Benrak. They had, on the Sunday we went back, they had whiskeys like Chivas Regals, Yamazaki, for some of the Japanese names you want to know about, Yamazaki, Hakushu, and they also had some stuff from Scotland like Glenfarclas, Kilchoman, I think that may have been Irish or Scottish. And they had some very interesting stuff going on all afternoon. It was incredibly great. I wish they did this every single week. They had some great people there. They had some musics. They had some interesting things going on. They had some restaurant guys there telling you about what to eat with which whiskeys. A guy called Hal Yamashita, and he was explaining what to eat with what whiskey. And they had just some wonderful, wonderful stuff going on. It was amazing. Really, really amazing. You gotta go to this next year if you love your whiskey and you're in Tokyo. I have to say though, Tokyo Joe's a little bit disappointed that the whole thing seemed to be kind of more oriented to the foreign whiskeys than I thought it would be. Yeah, I mean, in Japan, a lot of these foreign whiskeys are kind of expensive and exotic, but to me, they ain't. They're just like whiskey from home. And I would have been more interested in seeing some whiskeys from some of the far-flung regions of this country and other parts of Asia that people don't know much about. But that's another story. They got these events going all over the country. But it was amazing. They had some really amazing people there explaining the whiskeys. Tokyo Joe got to drink a lot of whiskey, and that's why this podcast number 4 is a little bit late, and that's why this podcast is not going to be all about the as long as the previous ones. But it was a really amazing event. Hats off to the people who were involved with this, because it was well organized, and I believe that Tokyo Midtown is the best place for it to happen. Best place for it to happen because I can literally walk there in about 3 or 4 minutes from where I live, here in Tokyo Midtown. What other whiskeys did they have you might want to know about? They had all the Suntory whiskeys there, you can imagine. Right? They had the Nikka whiskeys. Right? They had some whiskeys there from Miyagikyo and Yoichi. They had some interesting whiskeys like the Chichibu, like I told you about. And they had some Maker's Mark, Silver Seal whiskey. They had some other stuff going on there from other liquors. It was really great. In fact, it's so great, I'm going to remember it right now, and I'm going to have myself a nice canned highball from Nikka. A highball whiskey in a can. Okay, everyone. Take care out there. Don't work too hard. Stay tuned for the next podcast. That's my review of Whiskey Live. It was a pretty good event, I have to say. Really, really great. And I will see you in the next podcast. Take care, subscribe, rate, comment. See you on the Tokyo Forum, www.thetokyoforum.tk, www.thetokyoforum.tk. Okay, bye for now.